Good to go now. I had a little bit of technical difficulties, but I think we're good. Show's RPGrinders. This is Frank. I'm on with Eric RPG. We're about ready to get into it, into the show. Got lots of news today. We're good to go. Cool. Right on. Just making sure we were live. We got what else we got here? I don't have any reviews, but what? Smell my wife. Maybe I'll play that.
Baby, take a smell my butt.
You do it better than I do, Bernie. Stinkos are obviously going to be interesting this week. Free for All will be doing our round 2 of the worst video game movie adaptations. That was a ton of fun to start off, I thought, Eric. I thought that was a heck of a tourney to start. And it is March Madness, so, it's appropriate to have tourney. We have a tourney almost every month. I like them. I like tournaments. I like pitting, different games up against each other, different characters, etc., etc. I think it's a ton of fun. Okay. So we're just going to have a ton of fun. How was your week, Eric?
It was all right.
Well, that's always better than not all right, Hopefully our good friend and colleague, the Brakeman, will be joining us soon. He's probably having some issues with his computer. And it is fucking hot in here, so I'm going to open up the window for a few minutes.
I wish it could be hot in Ohio. It's snowing again.
Well, I mean, it's not hot here. It's just hot.
Well, I mean, it's not snowing anymore, but who knows what it's going to be like tomorrow.
Just hot in this room. I guess stuffy is the best way to put it. Stuffy and humid, which it's hardly ever humid here in Denver. But it is a bit humid today. I'm not a fan of humidity. I know you guys get a little more humidity out east.
Oh my god, Nintendo. This is a press release for the Mario Direct that was yesterday.
Oh, dear Lord.
And I got it today.
Oh, good job, Nintendo. Good job. Way to keep up with the times there. Are you excited for the movie, Eric?
Yeah.
I am too. I think the movie looks good.
My brother asked me that question. I said yes, and he says you're not going to boycott it, Chris Pratt, because he's a Christian evangelical.
Well,
I didn't even respond to that because, if you're trying to compare it to the J.K. Rowling thing, it's not as if the Mario series has the creators it's like some microcosm of the creator's mind, and they baked all their worldview into it.
Well, look, Eric,
or the fact that Chris Pratt's not a billionaire a multi-billionaire like J.K. Rowling is.
Right. Well,
and isn't using said money to influence the actual government to write anti-trans legislation.
Yeah. Is she a multi-billionaire at this point?
Yeah.
J.K.
She's at least more than $1 billion.
Yeah, that's for sure. Net worth. She is worth 800. That doesn't make sense at all. Celebrity net worth. Here we go. Yeah, it's $1 billion. She's a billionaire off of writing books. How weird, huh? I mean, more power to her.
That probably doesn't count royalties either.
Oh no, I did hear that she did give a ton of money, philanthropic wise, but that doesn't excuse her fucking hatred towards trans people.
Trans and gay people.
Yeah, and gay people.
And not to mention how fucking racist she is.
Yeah. I mean, she's got
She has multiple characters in the Harry Potter books that are horrible characterizations of entire cultures.
Yeah, and you know what's a shame, Eric? I actually liked.
I'm not even. She had a character named Kingsley Shacklebolt. He's a black man.
Oh God.
And Cho Chang is a Chinese girl.
Yeah. you know,
And I don't know how true this is, but uh, Lupin's werewolfism was apparently um, basically a code for him having HIV as a gay man.
Oh God.
But even though he had a female partner, but like it's still,
Yeah.
they still
Well,
use lycanthropy as a stand-in for HIV.
I mean,
Because I think he originally was supposed to be gay.
yeah. Well, look, to answer your brother's question, Eric, like, we can't boycott everything, right? Like, it's like boycotting a game because one of the developers is a transphobe, right? That person doesn't speak for everybody else. And if we did that, we would never watch anything. We would never play any games. We would, never go anywhere. We would, I mean, it gets. I mean, there is a place and time for certain boycotts, but
Thing is, like,
you have to pick and choose.
I'm not playing games like Hogwarts Legacy because I don't want my money going
I
towards
agree.
efforts that
I agree.
hurt me.
Yeah, see there that's what you do. You just you pick and choose, and you know what? I mean, this is a
And
capitalist.
it's much easier when I already fell out of love with the franchise anyway.
This is a capitalistic society. So we're allowed to pick and choose what we listen to, what we watch, what we do. So I got no issues with picking and choosing what you boycott. We've had this discussion before, Eric, and it's quite frankly, it gets exhausting because like you can't. I mean, if there's something that's near, like for instance, if there's anything anti-gay that we collectively can agree to boycott, then we do. We have before, right? Like, I mean, that's as much as we can do. You know. Just I don't know. It's just really disconcerting when when you want to boycott something. That's your choice, So here, let's get a hold of Breakman here, and hopefully this will go as well as it can. Let's add Breakman and bring her to me. Breakman, do we have you on the line? Not yet. We'll wait till we get Breakman on here. Smell my wife. Have you ever seen that, Eric? It's pretty funny. I'll send you that link later. It's pretty funny. Oh, holy hell. Look, did you see this, sweetheart?
What?
Darcy? It's such a cool pic, man. I can't show that on screen, but it's just really hard. If you guys haven't checked out Kinky_horror, she's a pretty awesome chick. Super hot. Baby, 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 she's super hot.
To flash her titties on Twitter.
Yeah, she definitely. I mean, it's not for everybody. It's adults only kind of account. But Darcy, the male girl prince on Twitter, Kinky_horror. I highly recommend if you like the female body. All right, let me try break again. Break man. Break it, break it, break it, break man. Add participants, you piece of shit. God damn it. We're trying again.
I don't know what possessed XE to publish this game called Deadcraft because it looks so boring.
Probably money is the motivator.
Well, I don't think it's going to give them the money they think it's going to.
Well, probably not, but You never know. There's games that I was like really surprised that did really well, and other games not so well. So, it is what it is. Hey, Owen Ella, nice to have you in there. Drop Snap, Lizbay, and Kata. Thank you all for being in the chat. Feel free to comment. We will answer your comments. Bernie B's in the house. What's up, Bernie B? She's so sleepy and tired. She's probably gonna be snoring here pretty soon.
I'm so sleepy.
You're so sleepy. It just can go.
And then you're gonna be like,
turn. Yeah, I'm gonna go turn. All right. I don't know what's going on with Breakman's. We're still trying to get a hold of Break her and bring her to me. Let's try again. That's all we can do. Break my wife.
I don't think I've been able to send a single goddamn message to Break all week because he's been busy getting himself banned from Twitter for days on end.
I know, man. It's like he gets on Twitter, right? And then he's okay for a little while, and then all of a sudden, bam, he's banned again. It's like he over and over. It's weird. Breakman, what is going on? It says unavailable, Break. Don't know what to say. Let's go to the chats. Maybe I can give him a chat. Unavailable. There we go. Let's try that. Let's try calling him one more time. Let me hang up on you, Eric, and then I'll call right back. I promise. All right. Let's join call.
You're gonna have that in your head all night.
I am. Totally. What the hell? What the fuck? Call, motherfuckers. Oh, God. Call Eric first. That always works. Alright, Eric. Let me try to get our buddy Breakman on the line. Call and add. Here we go. Calling him again. Maybe he will answer this time. Maybe he won't. Hopefully he will. And then all will be good in the hood, as they say. Do I have you, Eric?
Yeah.
All right, cool. We should listen to that while we're waiting.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Look him up on YouTube. It's called Dream Eaters.
Okay. YouTube. Dream Eaters?
Dream Eaters.
Dream.
Is this flipping working finally?
Yes, it is. Breakman, we got you.
Christ.
Hey, Breakman, before we start the show,
Yeah.
I have a special song for you. Hold on. Let me find it. I had it, and then I lost it. Hold on. Let's just do this. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Here we go. Listen to this, guys. Tell me what you think of this. Why is... Oh, there we go.
Baby, take a smell of my wife. Smell my wife. Baby, take a smell. Baby, take a smell of my wife.
What'd you think of that?
What? Is that what they said?
Smell my wife. Baby,
smell
baby,
my
baby.
wife.
What'd you think? Out of 10, what would you give that, Break?
I don't know, because I couldn't even understand what they're saying.
Oh,
so-
okay. Well, let's try it again.
Baby, take a smell of my wife. Smell my wife. Baby, take a smell. Baby, take a smell of my wife.
Nice little jingle there, I think. Pretty good.
Is
Bernie's
that,
laugh.
is that our new opening theme?
Yeah, why not? No, just kidding. All right, let's. It should be right. I mean, it's better than anything we got. You know.
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right, why not? Shit. By the way, Break. Good work, man, on the summaries. It's so good, so good. All right, let's do this. You guys ready to go?
Yes.
All right, let's just try to get through the news as quick as we can, guys. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, fuck the news. Goddamn news.
Yeah, fuck the news.
I mean, yes.
And welcome to episode 731 of RPGrinders. I'm your host, Frank Branches, alongside my trusty cohorts, Eric the Great, Breakman the Bold. Gentlemen, how are you? I was just thinking of our new intro, what I should do. I think that Smell My Wife thing should be our new intro, but, you know, why not?
Well, not I'm going to song about smelling butts, because that's what I...
Smell my butt! Yeah, I think I could make that
As long as
happen.
it's not stinky.
Yeah, as long as it's not stinky.
I can't promise I didn't wash first.
Break. I love it. Hey, Breakman, how was your week, man?
It's all right. I'm tired though. I need to nap or something.
Yeah. Well, we need to get through this, and we need to get food in your system so you could like hibernate for the weekend. You know?
Oh God, yes, that's a perfect idea.
Hey, Break. Before we get started, did you see the Bears traded the number 1 pick to the Panthers?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they got like 4 picks and DJ Moore, so I think they made out like a bandit, man. Like really good.
4 picks, like what seed?
Let's see. Hold on. The Bears will receive Carolina's first round selection at number 9, the 61st. Yeah, the 61st pick. So late second round, a 2024 first round selection, and a 2025 second round pick. Plus,
So they're getting a first round, a second round, and a player plus two drafts coming up. Jesus Christ, that was...
Check this out: 2 first round selections, 2 second round selections, and DJ Moore, who's a really good receiver, by the way. So
dumb trade.
That is,
Jesus.
I mean, a great trade if you're Chicago, you know.
Right.
I think I know what Carolina's doing. They really want a quarterback. Good evening, Freak 5. We're gonna move on from sports talk and do the news. RPG news. All right, Eric, you're up.
Okay, from RPG site, we've got Front Mission 2 Remake's got a release date, and it's coming out on June 12th. And that's digital release date, so I'm guessing the physical release date will be like 6 months later or whatever.
Yeah, like a year.
Because we're
later.
not getting the physical release for the first game until around the time this game comes out.
Right. I mean, it looks okay. I don't know. I've never been a big Front Mission guy, but I know there's a lot of fans of Front Mission out there. It looks like, to be honest, to me, it looks like a PS2 game, but that's just me. I mean...
Well, Front Mission 2 was a PS1 game.
Yeah. I mean, so I guess we're getting sort of an upgrade? Yeah, sort of. You know. All right, anything else on that, Eric?
Don't ask me because I can't even load the page right now. It's fucking frozen.
Oh,
I'm gonna
awesome.
throw a fit and hit something and cry.
We need to start a GoFundMe, man, for your computer, bro. I mean, seriously.
All this blaming I do of Skype, it's my computer. It's not Skype's fault.
Yeah.
It's my computer. It's a piece of shit.
I agree. I totally agree. We've been saying that for years.
Yeah.
All right. Can you get...
Who aren't here, they don't know how long it was taking us to get me on here.
I know,
It took
I know.
5 minutes.
I know, it sucks, but, you know, it is what it is. We know by now. All
I'm
right.
trying to load pages, but I don't have this one up.
Oh, you don't have the next one up either, Break?
Nope, I don't have anything up on my
All
phone.
right, then I will do the next story coming to us live from, I believe, and now my piece of shit computer's acting up. Coming to us from Gamatsu, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak expansion for PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, and Xbox One launches April 28th. So all of those wanting and wishing, there it is. So it's
does the article say anything about what's going on with Game Pass version of Monster Hunter Rise? Are you gonna have to pay for this DLC separately?
It does
More than likely,
not.
but there's usually a discount on it if you have Game Pass.
Yeah.
I think at first they did DLC threw it in, but I think some developers kind of complained about it.
Yeah.
So I think about it.
So there's not much else there. It doesn't say anything about the Xbox Game Pass at all. So, all right, Eric, next story, please.
Okay, Ghost Trick Phantom Detective HD is launching June 30th for every platform. And pre-orders include backgrounds and music tracks. 4 backgrounds, which include Missile, Camilla and Missile, Sissel and Len, and Ray and the Black Cat, as well as the music tracks Missile, Brave Little Creature, and Chicken Paradise. And it's only digital only in the West because Capcom's fucking cheap. It don't want to do retail releases. You can go to a place like PlayAsia and order a kind of pricey physical set. It's I think it's close to $60, and that's a lot of money for just one game. Because it says the physical edition will cost 4,389 yen, while the digital edition will cost 3,990 yen, which is about $30. So even the digital release is kind of up there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there you go. I mean, if you're interested, but revised story mode. It's got, it's looks all right, I guess. I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but
it's probably at least a massive improvement over the iOS release. So that's something,
I guess, but not for that price, for sure. All right, next story comes to us from, as soon as my computer just, what's that?
I think $30 for this game is worth it, but the physical release is almost twice that. It's ridiculous.
Damn.
Yeah, really ridiculous. Next story comes to us from Gamatsu. Rune Factory 3 special launches September 5th in the West for Switch, PC. So there you go. PC version is newly announced. It's going to be in the standard edition. God damn, I'm getting an echo. Why?
It's probably my computer infecting yours.
39.99 euros, 34.99 pounds. Limited edition for 59.99 euros and 49.99 pounds. So there you go. That's the story about that. Rune Factory 3. I mean, I don't know. Another game that I never really played, but a lot of people like. It's got its following. So there you go. All right, Eric. Next story, please.
Okay, next story is Starfield's been delayed to September 11th, September 6th, and there's going to be a Starfield Direct on June 11th.
I know.
Because of course I knew it was going to be delayed.
Because of course it was going to be delayed. We knew that. I mean, it looks good. I mean, every trailer I've seen of it looks good, but
and when it finally does come out, I expect there to be tons of bugs anyway.
Yeah, I'm thinking that this is gonna be like the next, like Final Fantasy game that keeps getting delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. And like Eric said, it's gonna have a ton of bugs because, of course, Bethesda, right? But it looks good. I mean, it looks pretty graphically. I mean, haven't really seen much in the way of gameplay, but they always have really nice CG trailers and shit like that. So, Freak5 says, last Sunday I delivered an order to Jesus. Guess how much he tipped? I'm going to guess 50 cents. Freak5.
That's what are you doing, man? That's prejudice. It's pronounced
Jesus.
Yes. Jesus.
I'm going to guess
Don't be
50 cents.
man.
50 cents is what I'm going to guess. All right, next story comes to us from loading screen.
I got it up if you want me to.
Oh, yeah, go for it. Go for it, Break.
Okay, we're coming to us live from Gamatsu. Wargroove 2 announced for Switch and PC. Publisher and developer Chucklefish and developer Robotality? That's an interesting name. Have announced a turn-based strategy sequel, Wargroove 2. And there you go.
All right, there you go. There's the whole story. Freak 5, I was 50 cents off. I was close. I said 50 cents.
This looks a lot like games like Advance Wars.
Yeah, it does.
I like those type of games.
Yeah. He tipped 0. Wow.
I never got to play Wargroove when it was on Game Pass.
Awesome.
So.
Awesome, Freak 5. I mean, that's just what you need, you know. $0 for your hard work, you know. I mean, if the companies had their way, nobody would get paid anything, and you know, and then raise the prices because of inflation, you know. All right.
You know, it's not really inflation at all.
Right, Eric. Next story, please.
Next story is the Mage Seeker has got a release date for April 15th, and this is one of the League of Legends story games. And it's an action RPG.
I mean, I mean, here's the. I got the wrong one. I had a CG, not CG, but cinematic deal. But I'm looking at the gameplay clips. The gameplay looks good. So
I mean, I guess this would be good for League of Legends fans, but what about the rest of us?
Right.
Or it's better for those who hate League of Legends because of the gameplay and online gameplay loop of that game.
Yeah. I mean, it looks cool. I mean, I don't know anything about the story of League of Legends. So.
Oh, and there's going to be a ridiculously overpriced collector's edition being sold for $170.
Oh, only 170? Wow.
Includes a Silas statue. I don't know who the fuck that is because I don't play League of Legends.
Right.
Art book, deluxe art print, Lux comic, special edition hardcover, Silas and Lux enamel pins, and a soundtrack vinyl.
What the fuck?
I know, man.
Most people don't have record players, and what the fuck? More pins? Why with the pins?
I have a
Come on.
record player, Breakman. I have a
I
record
said
player.
most people, Frank. You were around when the record player was invented, okay?
I knew that was coming, man. Yeah, and who cares about pins? I agree, man. Nobody gives a shit about pins, man. Fuck this game. All right.
Pins and stickers, yeah.
I know. Next story.
Stickers you can give to like your nephew or something.
I
or
know.
niece, whatever. Like, here you go.
Like when you were a kid and you went to the dentist and you got stickers. I'm like, ugh, okay, stickers.
Really, when I went to the kid, it was when I was a kid, they'd give you like suckers and shit, you know. Like,
yeah.
I was a
Let's
doctor. Never mind. Never mind.
let's add to your teeth problems by giving you a sweet sucker. Here you go. Xbox Game Pass, Guilty Gear, Strive, Valheim, Ni no Kuni, Revenant Kingdom, more in mid-March coming
Ni
to
no
us.
Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom.
Didn't I say that?
You just said Ni no Kuni.
Well, when I say Revenant Kingdom, people know what I'm talking about, man. If I would have said Wrath of the White Witch, then they would know it's one. So this is what's coming. This is from Gamatsu. Available today, Guilty Gear Strive, coming soon, which is March 9th. Dead Space 2, Dead Space 3, don't waste your time with Dead Space 3, just play Dead
Those
Space
are the
2.
cloud only, so they were already on Game Pass.
Okay. Cloud only, fuck all this then. Valheim on
cloud would be useful if you wanted to play those games via streaming on your phone or something, but yeah.
March 16th, Sid Meier's Civilization 6. On 16th, 21st is Ni no Kuni 2. Available now for game updates, Fallout 76, Mutation Invasion. Is anybody still playing Fallout 76? No Man's Sky, Fractal Update. Halo Infinite Season 3, Echoes Within, which I'm sure will thrill.
Also, I'd like to mention one of the freebies for the perks you get for being on Game Pass is you can get Evil Dead 2 for free.
Cool. That is cool. I don't have Game Pass, so but pick that up because Evil Dead 2 is great. Halo Infinite 3 Echoes Within. This might interest Breakman. He's probably been waiting for that. March 16th and 20th, Sea of Thieves, Forts and Fortune 5th Anniversary Celebration. And then there's some ultimate perks like Madden NFL 23 EA Play Supercharged Pack, Halo Infinite Corrupted Assault Rifle Bundle, which you can get for free.
I like free. It's my favorite word.
Overwhelm your foes with the exclusive Corrupted Hex Assault Rifle weapon coating, 4 2x experience boost for 4 challenge swaps. This perk requires Halo Infinite multiplayer to use. F122 Champions Content Bundle, Sims 4 Sleepover Sleepwear Set, which Bernie would love. Xbox Game Pass Quest, Overcooked 2, Signalis. Leaving March 15th is F1 2020. Goat Simulator. That's really weird. Goat Simulator's fun as fuck, but buggy as hell. Kentucky Route Zero. Have no idea what that is. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Paradise Killer, Undertale, Young Souls, and Zero Escape, the Nonary games. So
Okay, I'm not playing any of those, so
Nonary games is really good, man. That's you should play that before it goes break.
Sounds like I'm not gonna have time though.
And you're not gonna play Guardians.
Oh, Guardians is good, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have time to play those. They're going.
You could be Guardians in like 2 days.
He's
like,
too busy bitching at people at Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, look at
Getting
this.
yourself banned.
Freak 5 Chaos says it was Sunday night. Jesus should have been flush with cash. I agree, but Jesus was cheap, man. You know, just cheap. All right. Coming to us live from Gamatsu. I'm gonna go
Or
ahead and
any
do this
money
one.
that he had was given away.
Yeah. I'm going to do this next one, guys. Coming to us live from Gamatsu, action RPG Wolsen, Lords of Mayhem, coming to PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, and Xbox One on March 15th, alongside Act 4 update. Discover the ancient secrets and hidden truths of a shattered and corrupted world. I'm not going to go into that. Do you guys want me to read the about? I don't think I should read it. I think we should just go on. So it's coming out. It's got a bunch of stuff. There's a trailer, which I didn't play because my computer's acting like shit. Break, do you have the last story up?
Sure. Coming to us live from Gamatsu. Squinix president Yosuke Matsuda to be replaced by Takashi Kiryu. Change to be officially finalized in June, pending board approval. I think I did pretty good on those.
Yeah.
Right?
What's that?
I think I did pretty good on those, right?
You did great. You did great. I didn't even laugh even once. Break.
I know, like, come on, like props here. Yeah, come on.
Normally I'm like cackling like a hyena when you pronounce Japanese. One more time. Give them to me one more time. Break.
Damn it! I knew you were gonna do that. Okay. Yosuke Matsuda and Takahashi Kiryu.
Takashi. It's Yosuke Matsuda and Takashi. Takashi.
God damn it, Frank! This is your fault. I had it right the first time.
You thought you skated through, man. I had to get that in there.
No,
Man.
I should have just kept my mouth shut. I'm like, congratulate me! Look what I did! Yay, mommy, I'm good.
And then you screwed up the second time.
Yes.
I love it. I told my sister it was all used to pay off child abuse victims. Oh, that's funny, Freak 5. I did have a better order later that night. One item from Walgreens at 11:30. Jesus, you've been working hard, Freak 5.
Why are you paying money at Walgreens? They don't deserve your money.
Well, that's not him. It's order. Eric, pay attention. All right. Any homie discounts? I didn't see any on the thing here, but I think Eric already gave one. You can get Evil Dead 2 for free if you have the Game Pass. So there you go. Breakman, I think I might have.
Really?
Maybe. Hold on. Let me look at this. No, it was just that question last week with the Cocaine Bear and Meth Gator.
I answered that more on the whatever that thing is that I do.
Twitter?
That thing.
Twitter?
No, not Twitter. That thing where we post the show and the stuff.
Oh yeah. Your summary of the show. Yeah, it's pretty, dude. I mean, pretty awesome, man. Just go check out Breakman's work on the show descriptions because they're legendary at this point for sure. All right, let's go to. Hold on, I got it here.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiring minds want to know what you've been playing, Break.
I spent more time watching stuff this week than playing, but I'm inching ever closer in Friday the 13th with some of the achievements, like to get the kill. I'm up to 80% in the all types of kills bracket. So
awesome. That's good.
Back from I was at 8%.
Yes, you only needed like 1 or 2 more kills, man.
Yeah, and it bumped me down to 0. Now I'm back up to 80 something. So.
That's good. That was a quick turnaround, so that's cool. I'm glad you're still having fun with that.
I'm surprised by how quick it's actually been.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna get to the part where it's like, oh, which ones do I still need?
Right. You might have to look up a guide, dude. And see what to do. All right, Eric, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Pronti and Trails 2 Azure, what it's called.
Yeah, how's Pronti, man, so far?
It's fun, but I wouldn't recommend the Switch version. If you care about frame rate, which would be important in that game because the enemies are tough. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, frame rate's always important, and Switch is probably never, ever the...
But I think it's more to do with the fact that the game isn't optimized well.
And that, too. I mean, I think both ways. Nintendo could do a better job with its hardware, and developers could do a better job of optimizing for that hardware, for sure. All right. Before I hit the reviews queue, I didn't see you had any, Eric, and I don't think I have any. Break, do you have a review?
I actually have 3 reviews.
Okay, here we go.
I've got some on the feed.
Yeah, I was going to say, Eric's got some on the feed. What do you have on the feed for everybody, Eric?
I got the Pronti review, and then I've got the Metroid Prime Remastered review.
Oh, awesome. Those are cool. All right, Break, what you got?
Okay, normally when I have several reviews, I'd like to do like worst to best, because
right.
Like the build up and stuff like that. But the worst had me so fucking irate and incensed that I'm going with the worst last this time.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna start with the better movie that I watched. The best of the 3 movies I watched was Wonder Woman.
Oh, you finally got to it. Okay.
Yes, I finally got to Wonder Woman. It's finally a big screen telling of Wonder Woman's backstory, and it's mostly faithful to the comics.
Yeah, yeah.
And I really liked it. I thought it was really well done. Made me want to see her more as Wonder Woman, which I got my wish because there's another one. But then there's the I almost call them Avengers, Justice League, but whatever. But yeah, it was a lot of fun and good retelling of the character. My only weakness was the villain, I think.
Yeah.
The villain was pretty weak. Yeah, they could have done a way better job. Other than that, I say it's probably like a 7.
It's really nice to look at.
Which Wonder Woman movie is this?
The first one.
This is called Wonder Woman.
The one with Gal Gadot, who's super hot.
Is it pronounced Gal Gadot or Gal Gadot? Like I thought.
Gal Gadot. It's Gadot, for sure.
I thought she was French, and it was.
No. She's from Israel. And,
Israel. Okay.
Yeah, her name is Gadot.
Anyway, so Gal Gadot. By the way, she has set a high bar. It's going to be really hard to find a woman hotter than her to play Wonder Woman. Just saying, she set that bar really high.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a good movie. So I watched the sequel to it.
Yeah.
The sequel, I don't know, for whatever reason they decided to copy the plot of Crocodile Dundee.
I don't even know what that means. I've never seen that movie. But
funny. God,
it's a fish out of water tale. And basically, he's this big hero in Australia and Outback and stuff like that. And he goes to New York, and he's the big Australian Outback guy, and everybody around him is New Yorkers. So
that's not a knife. No, that's a knife. Right.
So that's when they decide to, and they do one of the things that really fucking irritates me in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Kill off a character. Don't bring him back.
Yeah.
You killed them.
Yeah.
Not to mention the problematic way in which they were brought back and the implications therein.
Yeah. It was a lot of like, come on, like, Like, and those were my favorite parts of the movie, like the fish out of the water, like because they were funny. Like Chris Pine, he's really good in those scenes.
Yeah.
But still, like it was just like, why did you bring him back? We know what's gonna happen, and just it's okay. And then Cheetah, they wanted to make her more of a sympathetic character, which I was actually okay with. But it really didn't pay off. I don't know. It just didn't work right for some reason. I can't really explain it.
I did like Pedro Pascal in it, and I like the 80s aesthetic. That was kind of cool, but, whatever.
Yeah. The low rent Nathan Fillion is the villain guy, game show host guy.
Yeah, that's Pedro Pascal. He's the Mandalorian. And
yeah, I know. I'm saying he was like low rent Nathan Fillion in this
yeah.
movie. Like he was, I like him, but like I don't really like his character that much. And yeah, it had problems. Definitely not as good as the first one, but it's nowhere near as bad as the next one I saw.
Hold on. Before you say that, what are you giving Wonder Woman 1984? I believe is what it was.
That's hard. I don't know.
I would give it a 6. I think I gave it a 6 when I reviewed
I'm
it.
thinking 6 or 5.5 or somewhere around there. Because it's something I'd probably watch again if it was on and I couldn't reach the remote. But if I could reach the remote, I'd change the channel.
Yeah. Hold on. Before you move on, speaking of Chris Pine is probably that and the creatures in the Dungeons and Dragons movie are the reasons to go see Dungeons and Dragons, the new one coming out. But okay, continue on.
He nailed that role like both times, like in the first movie and the second one.
He's just good in almost anything he does,
yeah.
man. I've seen him. I have never seen a Chris Pine movie where I wasn't just like, man, he's really good in this movie. Just a good actor. Although I think an underrated actor, actually. All right, now you're on to a piece of shit, apparently.
Okay, this one just made me absolutely mad as I watch it. How should I start this review? I watched this one out of more curiosity more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'd already seen the extended version of it, or at least what I thought was the extended version. Turns out it's a completely different movie. Zack Snyder's Justice League is completely different from the movie that I just saw called Justice League.
Can't wait to hear this one.
Who took up the directing chair for Zack Snyder when he had the family emergency?
It was the guy that
was it Whedon?
Yes, Whedon. Josh Whedon.
Okay. He should never be allowed to direct again.
Okay, why do you say this, man?
I've got so many fucking problems with this movie. The Zack Snyder Justice League it didn't try to be a comedy. There were some funny parts, yeah, but it wasn't like it was trying to tell like this is an invasion story. Like these are heroes, and these are the enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things they did was they changed the enemy. Well, they didn't change him. They changed his origin. For some reason, they elevated Steppenwolf to like god status.
Yeah.
Of all fucking characters, Steppenwolf?
Yeah, I know. Steppenwolf sucked.
They treat Steppenwolf like he was Darkseid, which is weird because he does mention Darkseid at one point in the movie, like "Hail Darkseid."
Yeah.
Even though, like, apparently he's the big bad.
Yeah, I know.
And he's in love with the Mother Box, which he calls his mother all the time, which was another really fucking weird thing.
Mother Box. Maybe he had a taste of that Mother Box, and that's what
Like, I think Steppenwolf was so minor in Superman the animated series that they killed him off screen.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's just like they elevate him up to this like god status in the movie. Like whatever, okay, fine. I guess it was 2 hours, and you were trying to.
I think Orion is the one who apparently killed him because that's what they said in the show.
Oh yeah, the brother of or the son of
Apocalypse.
yeah.
You know who would have did it right, and they should have thought about it even back then, is James Gunn. They should have asked James Gunn. It's just kind of ironic that now he's the head of DC, but I kind
of hate what Gunn did to King Shark in the Suicide Squad, though.
They made
him a big dummy.
Well, he's not exactly the smartest
Yeah, he's not known
character.
for being smart in the comics.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
but at least you could talk.
but look, here's the thing: James Gunn has an uncanny ability to make even small characters relevant in a way that makes sense. And I agree with you, Breakman. Like Steppenwolf, like what the fuck, man? I mean, come on. And then
side to what Eric just said, or never mind. You go ahead. I forgot.
no, I was just gonna say, I mean, he just has an uncanny ability to take these unknown characters and elevate them in a way that everybody can really concisely understand and root for or root against. And Whedon lost his touch a long time ago.
Was how much editing was done? Because I know there were reshoots for Zack Snyder's version.
Look,
I thought it was just stuff like the Joker scene.
No, in fairness, Breakman, like Whedon took over that project when it was basically halfway done. So he had to. Now every director has their own vision of the way things go, and he had notes from Zack Snyder, but he just kind of disregarded those
It
notes.
sounds like he threw those notes away because he's like my comparison to him is like the new manager of any department.
Yeah.
Anytime a new manager comes in, they want to put their name on stuff.
Yep.
So they'll start throwing away stuff they don't like, start scrapping it, and reintroducing it as their way of doing stuff.
Yeah.
And it's kind of felt like that. Like they're the really bad and lame sex jokes throughout the movie.
Yes.
Just like at one point, like the Flash falls on Gal Gadot's tits, or like okay.
Which by the way,
Sex Fest, so that makes sense.
Which by the way, Gal Gadot refused to do that scene with Ezra Miller, so they had to put a stand-in for that.
Good for her.
Yeah, good for her, is what I say. And you know what, Gal Gadot.
Which is why I'm not even gonna watch the Flash movie until it hits HBO Max because.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
because I don't want to pay money to WB who harbored a fugitive.
Yeah, we were
so
talking
about fucking film their goddamn movie.
Breakman, I want your take on this. We were talking before we got on the air this week about like things like how like we can't boycott everything because of what one person does or anything, but there's certain projects that you definitely want to boycott just out of your own morals and ethics and in the way that you view the world, and that would be one. Do you kind of agree with that, or like how do you feel about that, Break?
What about the WB? Yeah, I'll wait. I'm like not a movie theater goer anyway.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that too. Like we were thinking of going to see Scream 6 today, and I'm like,
but none of the Screams are on any streaming service.
Yes, they are.
Like I still need to see
Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus. Scream 6 is or 5 is on.
5, yeah.
And then the other ones.
I could watch 5, but what about 4?
I think 4 is on there. I'm not 100. It's really weird because 4 is the outlier of the series. Like anytime you get a bundle, it's like 1, 2, 3. Like if you were to buy them, you could get 1, 2, and 3, but 4 is never included in that for some reason. I don't know. It's really weird. I think the rights are different. It's just I don't know. I forgot to mention these comments from Freak 5 in chat. He was talking about the guy that he picked up something from Walgreens. He says I handed him the order to hold on. I gotta go back here. So that guy tipped $6. He had me pick up a box of condoms. I handed him the order to him to have a great evening. He held out his hand for a fist bump. It was amusing. These people had to wait for me to show up before they could have sex. Freaks. He also says, I remember reading an article that said Gal Gadot is kind of problematic. She is kind of problematic, Freak 5. She has her own issues. Like she's anti Palestine. I mean, she's very, very anti because she's
Israel. Yeah,
she's from Israel.
For some reason, I thought she was French. I don't know.
No, she's definitely from Israel, and she's very anti Palestine, and believes that Palestine is the reason why Israel's having problems. Another Netanyahu.
Yeah. So back to this bad movie.
Yes.
I don't know how many like reshoots were done and stuff like that, but the movie plays out in a completely different way.
Yeah.
Story wise, Cyborg's barely even a character in the movie. They don't. instead of spending time like developing him, they do things like they've got this opening scene where Batman's fighting this random guy for whatever reason. Like, what I really liked about the Zack Snyder movie is there was nothing in it that was pointless.
Yeah.
Even though it was 4 hours long, everything in the movie there was a point to it, you know. Whereas like this one, why is he fighting this random criminal? Oh, so he can make a joke at the end when he encounters the parademon. Got it. Okay, so this was just Josh trying to find another way to get a joke in.
I think Whedon's largely responsible for all the bullshitty quick crap that you find in the MCU films. Which is, not
Avengers.
hard to believe
Really
considering he did the first Avengers film.
I really loved the first Avengers movie, but anyway, but I could not stand this fucking movie. In the final battle, they seed it through the movie. They spend time breaking off to this random family that's apparently like at ground zero of where the mother boxes are going to be lit up and stuff like that. Like, what the fuck who cares about this random family? I think Cyrus was only in 3 different scenes or something like that. They never really they didn't really address the relationship between the two of them, you know? Like Cyborg in the Zack Snyder cut, he's the heart of the movie.
Yeah.
He's the one that's really the first. Like, this is new to him, completely new to him. Where the Flash, it's new to him too. But you do see a scene where he's. It's obvious that he knows how to use his powers. He's been doing them and stuff like that. Whereas Cyborg's brand new to all of this, and he's learning as he goes. You know.
Yeah. Well, the whole deal with Cyborg, right? I think there was more to that than meets the eye too. The actor that played Cyborg, I can't remember his name, but there was issues where he was being discriminated against by Joss Whedon. And when he brought his concerns up to Walter Hamada, the former head of, I think he was a former head of Warner Brothers or the DC Universe or whatever, he was just quickly summarily dismissed. And then when he brought, it's Ray Fisher, I think is his name. But when right after that, he was fired from all future DC projects. So, I mean, it was very problematic, and I was very disappointed in that whole thing because of discrimination and a bunch of shit. And that perfectly makes sense that they would shift the focus from Cyborg to someone else, but the execution was so poor, like you said, Breakman. And
like there was so much spent on like random encounters, like this family and that random thug at the beginning of at the movie, and then Batman's voice he has the worst fucking Batman voice. That's to the side, but because I mean, Dark Knight's the best Batman movie, but he has a bad Batman movie, so
yeah.
But the dynamics between the characters and such, like he made it like they're always bickering and fighting. Like, he was trying to make like an Avengers again.
Yeah.
Whereas Zack Snyder, like, it's, at first they don't like before when they meet each other, it's like, okay, I don't know about you, but then okay, well, here's our enemy. We're on the same side. We're good.
Yeah.
And this, they're bickering and fighting the whole damn time.
Yeah.
It was watching 2 completely different movies.
Yeah, and the tone was completely different too. Not only did you have 2, completely what seemed like different scripts. Inexcusable in my view. You also had the tone that was like completely different too, and that's purely on the director. Tone is completely on the director, because I'm sure the actors had to like rethink their acting like the entire time. It couldn't have been easy for any of those actors.
Look at Henry Cavill doing Clark Kent. Like, for Superman, and then he had to be angry and stuff in the Joss Whedon version, whereas in the Zack Snyder he was more confused.
Yeah.
And he was just protecting himself.
Yep. Yeah. Before we get to Stinkos and stuff, I just want to say that Twitter they just did something. I went to go click back on Twitter. Look what Twitter is now doing, guys. If Twitter isn't one of the worst social media platforms now, I don't know what is. I got a big old message on the front that says, you, right, meaning me, must remove text message 2-factor authentication. Only Twitter Blue subscribers can use the text message two-factor authentication method. It'll just take a few minutes to remove it. You can still use the authentication app and security key methods. Learn more about two-factor authentication.
Yeah, I couldn't figure that out, so I'm just not using it, I guess.
To avoid losing access to Twitter, remove text message two-factor authentication by March 19th. So, wow.
Fucking shithead.
You can't even fucking...
I should be back by then.
Oh,
I should be
boy.
unbanned by the 29th.
Well, you would hope. I mean, and now I got to remember my fucking Twitter password to fix that. Why can't they just do it on their own?
Because somebody bought the company and fired most of the staff.
Oh boy.
And now he pretty much lives at the office and thinks he's a genius, but he has other people doing all the work for him, but not enough people, so they're working around the clock too.
It's really bad, man. Twitter is just really bad. I mean, this isn't the last straw, but holy cow, man. I mean, now now the protection is bad on Twitter. So
I was thinking about it too, and this last couple weeks I've been banned twice. I think I have a few days left now. I called MTG a cunt, that got me banned. I said something to Jim Jordan, that got me banned too.
I know, Jesus Christ, man.
Like,
Don't say anything bad. I wonder if you said something bad to a Democrat, if that would happen. Break.
That's good. Yeah, I should try that.
Yeah,
Actually,
you should try it with a Democrat. So.
And the problem is, like, I was with Jim Jordan, it was a bit because I was dealing with like Ohio issues and stuff like that, and it was fucking Ohio's been taken over by Republicans who don't follow any rules whatsoever. They just convicted the one guy of fraud. He was only like one of many. Like, why are they're punishing two of the many people we know were involved?
Yeah.
Because like they're skating around laws and stuff like that, or some of them are just, it's just minor, so there's nothing really here to punish, type shit.
Yeah.
Because the prosecutors are in the pockets, and that guy screwed them too. So
yeah.
Anyway, back to this. Like, it's just, yeah. There was so much, like, it seems like they wanted to make like Diana and Batman a relationship too. Like the cartoon, like it seems like he was watching the Justice League cartoon, like, I can do that. I'm just gonna copy that.
Yeah.
And yeah, just no. I give the movie a fucking -10.
Wow.
I hate this movie. It's god awful. Just go watch the Zack Snyder movie. It's.
You know what would like really like raise your spirits in lieu of that, Breakman? I was telling Eric this before. Just go to Twitter and type in kinky_horror, HORROR, and that'll raise your spirits a little bit.
It's a good thing you spelled it out for me, because I was going to type in kinky horror, WHORE.
Right. So there you go. Let's see. I had another idea while I'm taking the prep for my colonoscopy. You spend way too much time thinking about colonoscopy, Freak 5. Find someone doing an open house trying to sell it. Go to that and use the bathroom. I may even eat a bunch of cheese for the week before and make myself constipated. Another funny idea I had, picture this, The Muppet Show with 9 Inch Nails as the music guest. They are performing Closer. And when they sing, I want to fuck you like an animal, Animal yells, animal. So there you go.
I was about to say he has to perform with them. Like,
Yeah.
He has to.
Yeah. That's pretty good. All right, so -10 on good old Justice League Joss Whedon style.
Yeah, it was. I don't know how I'd feel about it if I'd seen that one before I'd seen the other one, but just it's. I really thought I was going to see like a condensed version of the Zack Snyder. Like, no, it's a completely different movie. Different, like you said, different tone, different courses of action. Like, for instance, like this whole fight at the end where there's supposed to be like tons and tons of parademons. Where are they all of a sudden? Superman's like just rescuing people, and Flash is rescuing people, but where are the parademons? They're gone.
Yeah. It was a mess of a movie. They all admit it, man. I mean, that could have been the movie to launch the DC universe into the stratosphere, just like the MCU ones. I mean, the DCU movies don't perform too bad, to be honest. I mean, they're nowhere on the level as Marvel, but they perform all right, and they had a chance. I mean, maybe now with Gunn at the helm, it'll have a chance to flourish. We can only hope, man. I mean, we want to see those stories. We want to see Darkseid. We want to see, Joker more of a good version of Joker, not fucking what's his nuts as Joker. We want to see more of that. So there's plenty of stories to tell in the DCU, and I really like the DCU. So
and look at the cartoon they've done so many different versions of Batman and Superman, stuff like that. You could do that with the movies too, but they fail so miserably sometimes.
you know what would be really good is if they did Killing Joke, but live action. I think it would be a lot better to do, probably in 2 or 3 parts. Like I think.
It depends on how they do it. The cartoon version, it was really exploitive.
Yeah, it was rushed a little
Like,
bit, but I think live action, I think you could do a really good job with it. I mean, the gritty nature of it would play better, like if you saw it on screen, and it would have more impact. Like seeing it in anime form is just, it was too jarring for a lot of people, and I understand that, Freak says the first time he sounds kind of confused by it, but as it goes on, he gets into it more and more. And by the end of the song, he's humping Trent Reznor's leg. Jesus, Freak 5, where does your mind go sometimes, man? Holy cow. All right. Hey, Break, did I ask what you played this week?
Oh, yeah. We did
Okay, and I didn't say what I was playing, but I played Last of Us 2 some more. That game's way longer than the first one, from what I gather, because I'm still playing it, and it's still going on. I mean, I think it's suffering from being too long, to be honest. I don't know how much more can be done with this game, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll continue playing it and see where it leads, but I don't know. I'm confused by it, but we'll talk about it when I finish it and I do my review. All right, let's move on to everybody's favorite segment.
What is it?
Stinko of the week.
All right, Freak says he played Minecraft Dungeons. It's fun. Cool. All right, Breakman, your Stinko of the week, because Eric, I didn't see a Stinko for you.
Yeah, I've got several, so that's fine.
I got a couple Sweetos though.
Okay, cool.
Okay, there's a story I said maybe 3-4 weeks ago about this couple in northern Ohio who has been actively teaching their children about Nazism, and that's their whole, because they're homeschooled. They're teaching other kids, and there are like thousands of students and stuff like that across northern Ohio. That story quickly went off the news, and I hadn't heard anything about it, and I'd assumed everything was taken care of with that. But then I started reading this new article earlier today, and the title of the article is "Neo-Nazi Homeschoolers Could Be Paid $22,000 to Teach Their Kids About Hitler." $22,000 of taxpayer money. Because in this story, I found out that they were not punished at all because, according to Ohio law, they're not breaking it.
Well, it sounds like they're being rewarded for it, actually.
Yeah, in Ohio, you get paid money. They're actively trying to pass a bill that'll pay private school institutions and private parents to teach their kids money. So our own hard-working tax dollars are gonna get paying Nazis.
I need to leave the state and find a new job.
I'm with you on this. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Ohio is weird, man. It's becoming the new Florida. Really, seriously.
Since Trump, this state has fallen off a cliff. It really has.
I mean, you guys.
Trump in the state's insane.
Honestly, you guys really should consider moving. I wouldn't blame you guys if you did. Come to Colorado. The weather's nice.
Well, for example, like Eric, they're cracking down on the LGBTQ community. Like, it's gonna be bad and get worse for Eric, and people like him.
Yeah, I know, man. It's sad. I think about Eric quite a bit.
I can get by just pretending to be a man, though, because that's what most people assume I am anyway.
Yeah,
So-
but why do you
But
want to?
other people have
But then, like, you're not being yourself. Like, you have to
Yeah.
hide. Basically, you have to hide yourself because of
Well, I don't talk
for
to
what
anybody
reason?
anyway,
It's not fair to you.
Yeah, I know, Eric, but you really should consider. I know you got family there and whatnot, Eric, but I mean, I do get worried about
I
you.
already can't trust my family, so
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, Eric, I mean, I think about you quite a bit when I run across these stories, especially in Ohio, and I you know, I do worry. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I worry about both of you guys for different reasons, but I think about you guys quite a bit during the week. I know we don't talk a lot, like, beyond the show, but
We're all
I-
busy. We got lives. We're adults and stuff.
yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, we have our own reasons. Like, you know, I mean, I'm always super busy. I know you guys are busy with what you do. I mean, Eric's busy, like, beating every game imaginable, it seems like. And Break, as you know, you got Mrs. Break and your own issues to deal with. But I do think about you guys, and I you know, I think about where you live, and Ohio just seems like it's just getting worse and worse for people like us to
But for me,
to
like,
live.
I live in the city in Cincinnati, and this is like a heavily Democratic city. Like this in Cleveland and Columbus, the big cities are like heavily Democratic run, but the state itself is just the rest of the state's Republican. So there's a lot of like fighting back, and there's a lot of like acceptance in the big cities, but
Yeah.
diversity. But
Let me read Freak 5's Stinkos real quick. First Stinko, he was found 100% at fault in his accident. Somehow he was crossing the other person's street, so he was supposed to yield to him for some reason, but he wasn't crossing my street. You know, Freak 5, you should get a lawyer and battle that out in court, because I think you could prove otherwise. A good lawyer would prove otherwise. Second Stinko, I was supposed to have a review at work and get a raise last month. Still hasn't happened. I asked my boss. He said I was supposed to get something in the program we use to request time off. I hadn't got anything, so I talked to HR. She told me that program hasn't been set up for reviews yet, but they can do reviews the old way. So you're getting the runaround, Freak 5s. It's standard fare. All right, Break, continue on.
okay. So next Stinko, did you hear about there was a train wreck? Frank, did you hear about that?
Oh, you mean the one in East Palestine?
No,
Yeah.
no, he's talking about the other train wreck.
Oh, the other one. Yes.
Another
Okay.
train wreck in
Yes.
Ohio.
Yep.
And,
the same goddamn company.
Yep, same goddamn company. Speaking of the same goddamn company, there was a wreck earlier today in another state.
God.
So three
Ohio?
trains?
No, not in another state. No, the one there was one last week in Ohio, or no, sorry, Saturday. Yeah, last week, and then there was one today in another state. Like this company needs to be just shut down.
How about we just get rid of trains? I know that was a controversial take by me, like starting when I started this show.
Not get rid of trains, just reduce it to public transportation.
No. I think we get rid of trains, Eric, and hear me out on this.
But we get rid of the coal trains, especially.
Coal trains, number one, we phase out those right away.
I
We
like
just.
Coltrane. He says all the funny stuff.
Not coal train, coal train.
Oh, what about Rasco
my
Pico
bad.
train? Hey, Break, you remember Rasco Pico train?
What?
Yeah, Rasco Pico train. You don't know who that is, Eric? You should look it up, bro. Okay, hear me out on this, guys, right? All right, coal trains first, not coal train, Breakman. I know what you're doing there. Coal train, COAL, should be immediately eradicated and done with, and set out to pasture and put to retirement. The rest of the trains, like the electric trains, should definitely be put into the pasture as well, because they are not efficient at all. The technology in that is like the most archaic electric trains possible. I know here in Denver we have what they call the light rail, right? And the light rail reminds me of old school San Francisco trolleys, where you have the overhead power lines that run them.
There's a ding. Please tell
Well,
me.
what about it is light?
Well, right. But the maximum that these quote light rails can go, I think is 35 or 40 miles an hour,
Where the
right?
fuck are my magnet trains? Give me some magnet trains.
I say we just scrap all of it and go with bullet trains if you're going to do anything, right? And we start just like how we did the national highway system. We divide the United States into quarters, and you have basically I-70, which goes across pretty much the entire United States, right? Or most of it. And then you have a major highway in the middle of the United States that divides the United States pretty evenly, and you can easily do that because there's plenty of space in the United States. It's not like the United States is not like densely populated like say China or even Japan, but somehow Japan managed to make a bullet train from one side of their country to the other. So anybody saying that it's not possible, shut your fucking mouth. It is possible. And then once you make those two major trains, right? And you can even extend it to Canada and Mexico if you want. So if you wanted to, if not, okay, we're imperialist and we don't want to help anybody else. We just do it United States, right? Now you got the entire United States quartered off, right? So then you can put all kinds of bullet trains within those quadrants that'll get people from point A to point B. So if you're in, let's say, Washington, you can get to New York in an hour and a half or so without having to buy a plane ticket that costs a ridiculous amount of money. You don't have to worry about spending money on big time airlines that eat up all kinds of electricity. You have solar panels and magnets that run these bullet trains, just like Japan did, and the cost was half of what it takes to run the airplane system in the United States or Japan or anywhere else. So, fuck trains is what I'm gonna say, Breakman. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hijack your train diatribe, and I made it into a bitch session. But fuck trains is what I'm saying. All right, continue on, Breakman.
There were a lot of regulations in place for a reason. Like, we need more regulations, not less. If we want to keep trains and we want this to stop happening, because what was it? There are over 1,000 train wrecks a year.
Oh yeah, easily.
So anyway, that we need to move on to that. This one goes to Joss Whedon for what he did to Justice League.
Does he get an all-time Hall of Shame, Stinko?
Yeah, he can be put in that.
All right.
So bitch. And the last one goes to Tucker Carlson and Fox News.
Oh God, man, it gets worse, doesn't it, Break?
I don't understand like how we live in this world now, where this is like he goes on there and he shows selective footage of where there's like 40,000 hours of footage, and he shows like 5 minutes of it and says, "Hey, look, there was none of that they said."
You know what's funny about that?
Happened.
Right. You know what's funny about that, Breakman? I don't know why I'm getting the stupid echo, but what's funny about that is he showed a lot of calmness, right? And there was a lot of calmness because all the bullshit happened breaking into the Capitol, right? So you saw the video of people breaking in the windows, the same footage that he saw just a little bit later. You know, the same footage that we saw from Tucker Carlson was just a little bit later. And those windows were broken that you see on the right there. So he selectively showed you the calm, you know, before the storm. And there were definitely moments of calm because everybody got into the Capitol and it's like, okay, what do we do now? Kind of thing, right? It's a normal human reaction. Let's say you have...
At that point, cops were also the ones inside were trying to de-escalate.
Yeah, they were trying...
Because they were outnumbered and like they said, we were trying to de-escalate the situation. So they were trying to calm these people down, not
right.
Shoot them and fight back. Like there was only one person that was shot.
Well, they did say, like, one of the officers, his name is Filoni, I believe. He said he's not with the department anymore. He's had a heart attack and all kinds of shit. Which why wouldn't he with all that shit? But he said that the reason that they didn't start shooting is because they only had so many bullets, and if you run out of bullets, you're gonna die. You know what I mean? So the choice was let them roam. Relatively violence-free once they got in, or shoot and expect to be killed by an angry mob. Those were the choices. So if you see these videos of like they showed the shaman guy like being like kind of escorted around and shown, what else were they to do? They were trying to placate the people that were already broken in. So there wasn't much choice. And I'm not a huge cop guy. I can't stand cops. I think cops are the devil for the most part. But in this case, I don't think they did much wrong. Continue on, Breakman.
So yeah, I mean, it's so bad when Republicans are coming out against him, saying
Mitch
like,
McConnell said was railing against it. I was so surprised. I was like, I can't believe I'm agreeing with Mitch McConnell on something. Holy fuck! Do I have a temperature? Like I turned to Bernie. I was like,
but
do I
see,
look sick?
I'm not giving him a sweeto because I know for a fact these assholes will go back on his show in like 6 months or something like that and pretend none of it happened, just to promote themselves.
Well, do you blame him? Because Tucker Carlson has the -- show on cable TV. Period.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, he should be shut down for this. This is absolutely ridiculous to say that you're a news station, and then do this.
It's propaganda. It's propaganda.
Yeah, it is absolute propaganda. This is one of the worst attacks on the Capitol that we've had in American history since we haven't had a bad one since 1812.
Yep. What else you got, Break?
That's it. That's enough.
Yeah, I know. Freak5 says, third Stinko, on Mondays, my department works 9 hours. The morning shift each picked a day besides Monday, and they can leave 1 hour early that day. But with the night shift, it's subjective, and we can't always get to leave 1 hour or leave early one day during the week. Today, the truck is done. I ask if we can leave early, and I am told to see if the other departments need help. We catch one department up, the other doesn't need help, and my boss tells me, go see if my shelves need to be stocked. Yeah, oh God, man. They can never get enough work out of you, Freak5. Never, ever, ever. You're to work. I mean, you know what France was protesting, Breakman and Eric? Do you know what they were protesting like millions in the streets for? Do you know?
I forget. Yeah, this is good, actually. I forget.
They were protesting because they wanted to raise the Social Security age from 62 to 64. And they quickly shut that shit down because they protested in the streets. We don't do that here in the United States. When we do, i.e. Occupy Wall Street, we get thrown in jail. That's what happens with us. So tear gassed, beaten up, thrown in jail, killed in some instances.
Then you get blamed for riots that happen too, like even though it's Proud Boys or shit like that, then you get all the blame for it.
Yep. We are the only 3 people there who have a 41-hour work week, Freak5 says. Well, you need to bring up that with the big boss, Freak5. I mean, fuck that.
That's a big problem I have with corporate America is their whole we need to maximize profit at all costs, like that. So they try and keep their workforce low. You're treating people like they're, I don't know, they're not employees, they're like slaves. I don't want to say slaves because it's not slavery. It's not
right. It's so sad, man. Like I had faith that we would be okay up until I saw a Supreme Court case where this truck driver was battling his company because he left his truck. He was one of those ICE truckers. Mm-hmm. And he left his truck in order to survive. He wouldn't have survived if he stayed in his truck. You know who the Supreme Court sided with?
God.
His company. They said he had a duty to stay with that truck to ensure the contents of that truck would be safe.
To ensure the ice was safe?
No. To ensure the contents of within the truck were safe. Because they were more the contents were more valuable than the person, you see. Right, so he had no business trying to save his own life, is what they said. And they ruled against him. And he got fired, and, his pension went in flames, and his life was pretty much ruined. And, he's probably on suicide watch 24/7 because he can't provide for his family anymore. All that stuff. Capitalism, capitalism at its best.
We used to have regulations and lots and lots of regulations, and we had more people to. Well, for instance, the IRS, they're going to have 30,000 people quitting over the next 8 years, retiring and stuff like that, and the whole thing of them hiring more people was to replace what they're losing, not because they need more staff.
Well, I actually have a problem with the IRS because they never go after the proper people. They're always going after the little guys, you know.
Oh, I know.
So I don't really give a fuck what happens to the IRS, you know, and I don't care that they're struggling. But they did get approved all kinds of new people just for what you said, to replace the old fogies that have been there forever and stuff. Well, it's more capitalism. Look, there's a sergeant that's sitting at a desk in the Aurora Police Department, which I'll get to in a minute. Guess how much that sergeant is making, Breakman, to sit at a desk? How much would you think?
Well, he's a cop, so
Yeah.
I'm going to say 6 digits.
Oh, definitely 6 digits. $142,000 base pay. That doesn't include overtime or his benefits or his pensions or, you know, any number of benefits that the Aurora Police get. So yeah, $142,000 to sit at a desk. Pretty sweet gig. Pretty sweet gig.
Nice. I'm envious, I gotta tell you.
Yeah. All right. So I mentioned my Stinko, Aurora Police Department. They are doing everything to obfuscate the truth. That same officer I just mentioned. He's a sergeant, and he's been with the department for a little over 10 years. I think like 12 years, somewhere around there, right? And I've got some interesting information on him. You know, his evaluations. He got promoted to sergeant. Actually, he got promoted to sergeant, which the timeline's really weird. There's different dates on the evaluation. One year they gave him an evaluation for 11 months and still gave him his raise before the year was up. So that was kind of weird. And then there was something odd that happened in 2019. In 2019, this guy was like a sergeant for the DUI unit on the street, right? So he was at DUI checkpoints. He was, you know, involved in like shootings sometimes, like DUI stuff, traffic stuff. You know, he was involved in a lot, right? So something happened in 2019 where there was a whistleblower that blew the whistle on another officer that was sleeping. Now, this officer was under his watch, right? The sleeping officer. And so the whistleblower told some higher ups, and the higher ups told the sergeant, right? They told the sergeant about this incident in email. And you know what the first thing you should do when you get an email from some other people about an officer sleeping on the job? What would you do, Break? Like what would be something you would do?
I wonder why I'm getting mail that way.
Yeah, maybe you would inquire, do an investigation, you know, stuff like that, right? At the very least, right? You would at least check it out. Guess what this guy does? He fucking goes straight to Sleepy. I'm going to call that Officer Sleepy. He goes to Officer Sleepy and he shows them the email, which of course included the whistleblower's information. So can you see the problem there by chance?
I see it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he gets an evaluation, and they go through everything and all this, and they do mention but they gave him a written reprimand, right? So you would think that his and the written reprimand basically said that he created a toxic work environment, which was completely obvious by him showing the sleepyhead the email, right? There was no mention of any, you know, wrongdoing by Sleepyhead or, you know, suspensions or anything like that. So, what they said was that he took the officer's word, and that was pretty much the extent of the sergeant's investigation. So they said that was wrong. But do you think they gave him a bad review for it? Do you think they maybe, you know, I don't know, docked his pay or suspended the sergeant for covering up the sleepyhead officer?
I'm surprised they didn't give him a raise.
Oh, well, hold on.
Oh, shit, are you kidding me?
Hold on, Breakman. I'm not done with the story. His review came back as exceptional. This is an exceptional officer. And he got more money. I don't know how much, but he got more money. But he did get demoted to desk duty after that. So they gave him more money and gave him less work. So there was a double whammy there, Breakman. So I'm still working on the story. There's more to tell. on that one. But yeah, that's the Aurora Police Department for you. Best of the best. So there you go. Yeah, I know it's pretty amazing. All right, let's move on to happier trails here.
What does my tattoo say?
Sweet of the week.
All right, Eric, I didn't see. Oh, you do have Sweetos. I'll get to your Sweetos in a minute, Eric. Breakman, your Sweetos first.
Speaking of the police, there are a couple police that forgot to turn off their camera when they were robbing a home.
Oh, perfect.
Normally the cops forget to. Normally they remember to turn off their. Because remember, so many murders have happened with no footage. So
Oh,
they normally
yeah.
remember to turn their cameras off. No, they
Yeah.
forgot this time, so they were totally busted. And they're, of course, it's only a half Sweeto because you know what they're getting punished with, right?
Let me guess. Administrative leave?
Yes, paid
Oh.
administrative.
Yeah,
leave
of course,
for
of
protecting.
course. Oh, that's a
But,
given.
but they'll probably get fired eventually for this because this is busted. My other one goes to a Republican.
Oh.
I know I haven't given a Republican anything in a long time. Nice, especially because I'm sick of dealing with Ohio Republicans.
Yeah.
But
Well, you got Jim Jordan over there, man. I mean,
thanks.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. First, there was a. Well, I should go back and explain what's going on. The whole "don't say gay" bill and stuff like that. It's not called that, but it was. It was
Pretty
given
much
that
that's what it
nickname
is,
for a
yeah.
reason. Because you're not. It's insinuating you can't talk about anything gay, and not just in sexual terms, but just like as a sexuality. Well, there's a Ohio Republican in Missouri who decided that she was going to copy that bill for Florida. There's a gay Republican who said, well, I can't sit with this. So he kind of explained it in the way that I could never.
Oh, I saw this, Breakman. I'm glad you brought this up. Yes.
In a
yes.
way even conservatives couldn't, deny.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was.
like he explained it ways yes, this is kind of explains what I've tried to say so many times.
Yes.
But after reading out the bill's section on gender identity, Mr. Phil Cristofanelli asked the woman who wrote this bill, who is Martha Washington?
I love this. Breakman.
She responded with saying she was the wife of America's first president. Cristofanelli responded, but with your bill, how could you mention that in class? She replied, and then her last, to me, that's not a sexual orientation, she replied.
But it is.
Oh, so you know what I would have said at that point, Breakman? I would have been like, oh, okay. So Pete Buttigieg, our Secretary of State, could easily say his husband Chasten in class, right? That's what I would have said.
Well, he kind of does that kind of stuff because he
Yeah.
goes on and he says, after Cristofanelli accused the lawmaker of only wanting to remove the teaching of certain sexual orientations, Kelly asked whether he had better language to improve the bill. Lady, I didn't introduce your bill and I didn't write it. You wrote it, so I'm asking you what it means. Which sexual orientations do you believe should be prohibited from Missouri classrooms? Then she started backpedaling with her moral compass.
Right. She was like, well, I believe in the Bible and and all this bull. I saw it, Breakman, and it was wonderful.
He came back on that too. He's like, you're putting your moral beliefs on us. You're
Yep.
enforcing your beliefs on everyone else. Like, I couldn't believe a Republican was saying all
I
this.
couldn't believe it either. But you know why? Because he's gay.
Well,
That's
he's
why.
gay, yeah.
Yeah, that's why he stood up. If there was no gay representation there, it would have went through no problem. And I still think it has a decent chance of passing, which is really, really shitty. But I think the way that you should combat that, like if you're in Missouri, is if that bill passes, then the first gay or the first person that cares about rights in general, the first Democrat, doesn't even necessarily have to be gay, should object to any book containing the word Mr., Mrs., anything of that nature. So that then we're all okay, right? We're all safe from any gender politics or gender identity stuff or anything of that nature. So yeah.
We gotta take out he and she too.
Yep, he, she, take he and she out, and Mr., Mrs., and anything like that. If you want to take they, them out, or Mr. and Mr., or anything like that, we got to take out the rest, right? I mean, that's how things work. right? That's how this bill works. No
So
gender.
now every book is going to have to say, John Smith walked into the door. John Smith did this to John Smith.
Yep.
John Smith. Like,
Yeah. Well,
no him or her. You gotta
we
say,
also
name
we also don't want to influence anybody to be heterosexual, right, Breakman? So anything to do with anybody getting married, male and female, we have to do away with that. So any book that involves marriage, traditional or otherwise, should just be banned. We should never reference anything in schools about marriage or anything, because we don't want to influence people to be heterosexual. You see, that's how it works. Yeah. Freak Vibes.
Basically, it's the whole their whole argument is that homosexuality is essentially that's different. It's not the same.
Right. It's not the
We don't
same.
consider it the same thing as it's not a sexuality, or no, heterosexuality is not a sexuality. It's the norm, basically. is what
Right.
they say.
But so it's not. You're saying it's not an identity. So you're not heterosexual. So that term should be eradicated from the books too. Then I'm all for it. Let's do it. No more talking about heterosexuality at all. That'd be awesome. You can't talk about sex then, because I mean,
I
then
don't like this world. I don't like
I know.
This is the one. No sex talk at all.
I know. But see, I mean, this is the logic that they have, man. I mean, they definitely want to narrow it down to just gay people and trans people and, all that stuff because
They're
of their...
starting with that, but I guarantee you women and blacks will be next.
Oh, no doubt. Black people next.
Well, actually, I said black people are already at war with them, but I'm saying once they've won, quote unquote, the war with the gay people, they'll move on to the biggest target. Really are black people.
Black and then brown. Black and brown you can kind of put in the same boat.
Right.
More so black because they're darker.
They really hate black people.
They really hate black people. I mean, it's insane.
Ingrained in
Man.
them, no matter what and some of them don't even realize it. There's this ingrained philosophy among them.
Did I mention? I know we're not on Stinkos anymore. Did I mention Scott Adams as a Stinko, the guy that created Dilbert?
Oh yeah.
That guy's a piece of shit. He really is a piece of
Sweeto
shit.
that he's getting quote unquote canceled, as he says.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Can't cancel him out.
He's been USA Today and a bunch of other newspapers canceled Dilbert.
Yeah.
They're not carrying his comic anymore because of what
It's
he
not
said.
the greatest comic, anyways. To be honest, I hated that comic strip. I never liked it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I won't read it again, but yeah, he went on his racist rant and then doubled down after everybody started canceling him and stuff like that.
How could you?
Down.
How
I'm
could
not
you?
racist, but then repeating racist arguments. Okay.
How could you, with a straight face, say, "Leave black people alone"? Don't help them.
Oh, wait, I guess I do have a stinko this week.
All right.
Adam Sessler, just having more meltdowns and being a racist and transphobic piece of shit.
Is that what's going on with Sessler? I saw him trending the other day, and
He's
I was
been like this for the past 5 years, and
jeez.
he's only gotten worse ever since he got fired from G4.
G4
again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's sad. That's
They fired him because it was failing, and then G4 is now dead again.
I wonder if Scott Rubin had any dealings with Sessler and knew any of this.
He probably ran into him, but I don't think he knew him that well. But I'm just guessing.
I should get Scott Rubin on the show, man. It's been a while since he's been on anything.
Is he still doing
ice cream? Yeah.
What's that?
The ice cream.
Well, by the time the X-Play got really popular, it was G4 Tech TV already. So.
Well, that's really sad because I used to love watching Sessler and Morgan Webb a lot.
G4 was much better when it was just Tech TV.
Yeah, I agree. When you had Leo Laporte and a lot of those type things. I don't know, but all right. Sweetos. Break any more Sweetos? Eric, did you have Sweetos?
Yeah, I got my car back.
Awesome.
And Mitch McConnell went to the hospital, so.
He fell down or something? I mean, yeah. Wow. I mean,
he better fucking retire.
No, they never do. None of them ever do. Look at fucking Feinstein on the Democratic side. That old fucking piece of shit finally is retiring.
One of the problems with Mitch McConnell is he's one of the few rational ones left.
Rational? Jesus Christ, man.
He's not a stupid guy. He knows exactly
He's
what
definitely
he's doing.
not stupid. I will give him that. But rational is that's never a term I
No,
would.
everything he does is calculated for him to
Yeah,
make
calculated for him, and
he knows what he's doing is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he knows what he's doing in regards to his donors and his money. That's that for sure. Sweeto Freak 5 says
into crazy land. Like what I'm saying is like he's one of the more sane ones because
Well, that means if the doctor tells him you gotta retire,
yeah,
then he probably will.
Like, he doesn't believe in QAnon and he badmouth Tucker Carlson's what I'm saying. Whereas
Yeah.
few Republicans are like Tucker Carlson's God.
yeah. Well, term limits is all I'm saying. Sweeto, the rest of the warranty on my totaled car was refunded to us, so we're getting $3,000 back. Freak 5 says that's good. Also, new season of Beavis Butthead on 4/20. How appropriate. Yes, you texted me that, Freak, and I can't wait, man. It's gonna be awesome. All right, my Sweeto, real quickly. My friend K-Dot on YouTube hit 20,000 subscribers, so really excited for that. K-Dot's a good guy. If you have a chance, check him out. Freak 5, you would love K-Dot's channel. DJ K-Dot The Party is his actual channel name, but he's an actual DJ too. But he's got a great channel. He does cop watches, stuff like that. He's just a good dude. All right, now moving on to, if I can get the soundbite up here.
It's a free-for-all. Little baby. Yeah, it's a free-for-all. Wow. Suck it.
All right, we're on to round 2 of our worst movie to video game adaptation. Breakman, take it away.
Make a movie game of Batman v Superman and then Justice League.
That'd be perfect, man. The game would be definitely better than the movie.
Of course, I don't think there was a good version of Batman v Superman. I thought that movie's terrible. Anyway, let's go ahead and start the set because I just realized what time it is. E.T. versus Home Alone 1 and 2. So E.T. for the Atari 2600 versus Home Alone 1 and 2 for the Nintendo.
Can you just say NES?
NES. I'll call it the NES.
Or SNES for the Super Nintendo.
NES. I prefer NES. But anyways, yeah, games that shouldn't have been made. All 3 of these.
Yes.
Eric, you can start it out.
What were they again? I didn't.
E.T. versus Home Alone 1 and 2.
I'm gonna vote for Home Alone 1 and 2.
Frank?
I'm voting for E.T. because, I mean, obviously the Atari's color palette was like 5 colors at most, I
I'd
think.
sooner play E.T. than the Home Alone game.
Oh, fuck no. I would play Home Alone 1 and 2 any day of the week over E.T. So that means Breakman is the tiebreaker.
Ooh. God damn, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go E.T. because those fucking holes.
Oh, God. The pits were the...
I'd rather drop a hammer on my foot.
Does
than fall
anybody
on-
to this day know how to get out of those pits efficiently? Do you, Breakman?
No,
honestly?
I doubt it. There's probably some speedrunner that gets out in a second, like, oh, I don't know what the big deal is. Why are you all incompetent?
Oh,
Fuck you,
fuck.
man.
E.T.
It's hard. Leave us
But
alone.
The
if they were a
worst.
speedrunner, they probably would never fall in there in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, you
Scotoma
You
finally
need
made
the
it.
pieces for the phone.
Yeah, you have to go in the pits.
Oh, right,
yeah,
that's right.
yeah, you have to go in the pits. Fuck. And then, like, which pit do you go in? So you're, like, struggling to get out, and then the thing about that game, every time you walk, it takes away time from you. So it's like, what the fuck? You got everything going against you in that game. There's no redeeming
Watch
quality.
Corncheck's Let's Play.
Oh my god. Ugh. Yep, so E.T. moves on, I guess. Scotoma made it.
Moves on.
What's up, Scotoma? Nice to have you in here.
Next, we have Independence Day for the PlayStation versus Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2 came together. Or, I'm sorry, 2 and 3 came together.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All 3 are terrible.
yes, all 3 are terrible. To me, 2 and 3 are some of the worst games I've ever played. Frank, go ahead. Well, since I already said that, I'm going to go Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. Frank, you're
I think Back to the Future 1, you guys give 2 bad of a rap to. I think it was an okay game. It wasn't the best, but 2 and 3 is pretty awful. But Independence
I'm voting
Day.
for Back to the Ass.
Oh, back to the ass. Independence Day is definitely super bad on the PS1. Independence ass, I should say.
Ass Panda's Day.
Ass Independence Day. I think I'm gonna go with Back to the Ass. For sure.
Let's
It's
Back
pretty
to the
bad.
Future moves on then. Okay. Back to the
What did you
ass.
pick? Wait a minute. What did you pick? Break.
I said Back to the Future.
Okay. Back to the Ass. Okay. Cool.
Back to the ass. Next we have Blues Brothers for the NES versus Batman Forever. I picked the Game Boy version, but really you can go with any version of Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Frank, you can go ahead and start this one.
Ass Brothers is pretty fucking bad, but like you said, the music's pretty good in it. I think Bat Ass Forever is the worst game of this, especially on the Game Boy. The Game Boy is the worst version of this. I think I played it. I think I might have played it for like.
Alright, I don't know if this counts as a Sweeto, but Break, did you know that like you remember the shows that were supposedly going to the WB, the DC shows that were supposedly going to leave HBO Max?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of didn't.
What's that? They didn't?
The Brave, the Bold, and the Justice League cartoons are still there for some reason.
Huh, that's weird. Maybe they're either incompetent or they heard the loud complaints.
Yeah, probably
Or
both.
Or they did take them off for tax season, and now that tax season is over, they could put them back on.
Yeah,
Or
maybe.
Did you check to see if like they're complete? Maybe they took off some episodes.
Yeah, that's true too.
I know all of those seasons and episodes were there.
Okay.
Hmm.
Then I have no idea what they're doing.
I'm going with Bat Ass Forever, Breakman.
Eric?
I'm voting for the same.
Wow. I was gonna say Blues Brothers because I actually own that game. Batman Forever moves on. Yeah, Blues Brothers was not a fun game to play. The music was good, but it was just not fun at all.
Yeah.
Bad performing game.
Also, I laughed in chat because apparently the next season of Beavis and Butthead is
420.
going to be on 420.
Yep, 420, man. 420.
That's a very wise decision by them. Bad Boys Miami for the PlayStation 2 versus Hudson Hawk for the NES. Never played the game. Never seen the movie. I liked Bad Boys the movie though. Both of them. Those were pretty good.
Ugh. Yuck.
Well, I like Martin Lawrence. I like Wilson.
Overrated. Dun, dun, dun,
Asshole.
dun. Overrated. Dun, 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 dun.
Anyway, Eric, you could start this one out.
Asshawk.
Frank?
It's Hudson Ass, Eric. But
Oh yeah.
I'm going with Ass Boys Miami because I told you guys the story. I got this game. I think it was like literally like 50 cents or $1 at GameStop. You know how they used to put games like with no covers like in those sleeves, and it was like at the end of the PS2's life. And I was like, I got a couple extra bucks. I'll pick that up. It can't be that bad. It's worse than that. It's worse than that. So Ass Boys Miami for the win for me. Or lose, I should say.
I've played neither one of these games.
Who made the more convincing argument is what you need to think of.
Eric didn't really give an argument. You gave an argument.
Yeah.
You said just Hudson Ass. I've seen some video of Hudson Ass when last time we talked about that game, which was definitely looked like ass.
It is ass.
I read about Bad Boys Miami. It seems like a game should have never even been released because
Nope.
it wasn't even a working game.
Nope, it was broken. It had all kinds of bugs. It was ugly to look at. It was washed out coloring. You couldn't even tell if the main characters were black or not. Which, I mean, come on, they're black. Bad Boys. Martin Lawrence, Will Smith. Get with it. So.
If Driver 3 was based on a movie, I would have put that game on here.
Yeah, Driver 3. Oh boy.
That game's fucking broken beyond shit.
Yeah.
Next, moving to the next bracket, we have Street Fighter, the movie for the arcade, versus Cool World for the NES. Eric, you can start this out.
I'm gonna go vote for Cool World because at least there's some entertainment value with the Street Fighter game.
Frank?
All right, we got Ass Fighter, the movie arcade game, versus Ass World. I'm gonna go with just to put Breakman on the spot, not purely to go against Eric. I'm gonna go with Ass Fighter because I remember the arcade being absolutely horrible when I played it. It had all those digitized effects, a la Mortal Kombat, but it was done to bad effect. Ass World, I never really played. I did see some Let's Plays of that. It seemed kind of shitty, but cool queef, Scotoma says. I'm going with the Ass Fighter, so that means you're the tiebreaker, Break.
Wow. Bad game versus based on a bad movie. Both of these are. Wow.
And it's a shame because that was Raul Julia's last movie, man. Just a great actor.
He put the really only memorable moments in that movie.
Yeah, he was good in that movie. Raul Julia is his name, actually, but, you know, Americanized
I know,
Julia.
like Cheech Marine, they call him Cheech Martin, for instance.
Yeah, Cheech Marin, yeah.
Anyway, so I guess that leaves it up to me. I am going to go with Cool World just because I really, really hate that fucking movie.
Really?
Yeah. And Street Fighter, like, you could at least mess with the settings and shit on the arcade to make it kind of a different game, make it closer to the other Street Fighters. But that's only if you're lucky to go to a cool arcade.
Right.
Next, we have Last Action Hero for the SNES versus Star Wars Episode 2 for the Game Boy Advance. Frank, you can start this out.
Last Action Hero, great movie, shitty fucking game, but man, Star Wars Episode 2 for the Game Boy Advance, star ass, I should say.
Episode 1 through 3 on the Game Boy Advance.
Ass Action Hero versus Star Ass Episode 2, or I should say,
what was the Ass Action Hero?
Star Asses Episode 2. I'm still gonna stick with Star Wars or Star Asses Episode 2 because it was just, I mean, not only did you have like a shitty gameplay game on the Game Boy Advance, but obviously, I mean, that little screen for what they were trying to do on that fucking game was just terrible. I'm going with Star Asses Episode 2.
I guess that leaves on me. I am going to go with Last Action Hero because that was walk right, punch and kick, and you got the enemies. Oh, I know you can jump, and the enemies do a lot of damage to you, and it's almost impossible to do the first fucking stage.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, man. Starring Ass Action Hero, starring Gal Gadot, I would pay good money for that, Breakman. Really good money. Queef Action Hero, Scotoma says.
Oh man, you beat me to it. I'm voting for Queef Action Hero.
Wait, I thought you went.
No,
I didn't say anything.
No,
oh, my bad.
That's okay, but it worked out because Ass Action Hero moves on.
Ass Action Hero moves on. You're right. Next, we have Star Wars Episode 6. That's Return of the Jedi for Noobs for the Super Nintendo versus Blues Brothers 2000, another game that, what the fuck did this happen? Why did they make this game? I don't understand. Frank, you can start this one out.
Ass Brothers 2000 for sure. I mean, Star Asses 6, still pretty fucking bad on the SNES, however you want to say it. But
yeah, I can't imagine how bad
on the
it is.
smallest of scales, I'm going with Ass Brothers 2000 because I mean,
at worst, the Super Star Wars trilogy was just a poorly balanced game, not a bad game.
Yeah. It was just poorly balanced more than anything. I mean, I would consider it not great, but you know, just I mean, the balancing issue is a huge one. But man, Ass Brothers 2000 just terrible, every which way.
Terrible.
I'm going to go next to put this on Eric because I'm going to go with Revenge. I'm sorry, just kidding. not Revenge of the Jedi, Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
Anyway,
Revenge of the shit.
Revenge of the shit. Revenge of the asses.
But it was yeah, like that last level where you're trying to fly through the Death Star and take out the core. Mode 7 graphics, everything's muddy looking.
Yeah, it was muddy.
It's absolutely terrible. I gotta go with that.
Ooh.
This puts on you, Eric.
It's on Eric.
I'm voting for let's see. I'm gonna vote for the Blues Ass. Yeah.
The Ass Brothers 2000.
I'm gonna put that Ass Brothers. I like that. Ass Brothers 2000. Next, we have a game that another game that shouldn't have been made, Platoon for the NES. Let's make an action game out of a really dramatic,
I know.
gruesome death, and it had a really
Get lost like almost immediately.
Yeah,
because the
exactly.
map's garbage.
Yep. And then Godzilla, another game which is just absolutely brutally hard for no fucking reason, like Last Action Hero. I couldn't play through this game without a Game Genie. Like, I couldn't even get through probably the first stage without a Game Genie. Because it's just, if you're using Godzilla, you're just getting hit nonstop by everything. There's no way to avoid most of it. I don't understand what they were thinking when they designed those games.
It's sort of like Rampage was like designed to munch quarters, and you would get hit by everything. Only not fun, right?
And you weren't. I mean, what was the point? Because it's not quarter muncher. Like, I paid $50 for this goddamn game.
Right.
I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go with Godzilla because I love Godzilla. We've talked many times. Like, Godzilla's my favorite monster. And just he's big and awesome. And this game was everything not.
Yeah.
Frank, you're next.
So we got Asszilla, which is definitely ass, versus Asstoon. I'm going with Asstoon because of what Eric said. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing in that game.
Yeah.
It was hard. Not as hard as Asszilla on the Game Boy, but hard enough. Plus, it just looked ugly for an NES game. Asstoon for sure for me.
It's pretty hard to look ugly for an NES game. So.
Yeah.
Eric, you're the tiebreaker.
I'm voting for Queef Tune.
Queefton, wow.
I
Queefton
love it.
moves on. That should be the name of this episode, Queefton. Next, we have legendarily bad Total Recall for the NES versus one of the ugliest games I've ever seen, Shrek Swamp Kart for the Game Boy Advance. I'm going to start, and I'm going to go, because I never really played Shrek. I just watched it and looked at some screenshots, watched video. Whereas I rented Total Recall when I was a kid, and it was one of those games like, oh, can we take this back? I think this is broken or something. So I'm going to Total Recall. Eric, you're next.
I'm gonna vote for Shrek Swamp Queef.
You missed an opportunity there, Eric, and I'm going to tell you where you're wrong, all right? So we got Total Ass Call, right, versus Shrimp Swamp Ass, right? It's got to be Shrek Swamp Ass. Sorry, Break, but Shrek Swamp Ass is one of the worst games ever. Not only bad adaptation, but super bad. Just sucky, shitty, and it wasn't fun. Let's just put it that way.
Speaking of not fun, we have Goonies 2 for the NES, a confusing sequel to a movie that didn't need a sequel, and I had no flipping clue what the fuck I was doing in it.
No, it's not a sequel to the movie. It's a sequel to the first game.
Yeah, but still, I mean, there was no basis. Like, what the fuck?
There was no first game though.
Yes, there was.
Not on NES.
Yeah, not on the NES, but it was made by Konami. It was released on the Famicom and the MSX.
Okay, so it was something that just we never got over here. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, it was a confusing game to play. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Versus Days of Thunder, which I've talked many times. Like, racing games of old do not hold up today. It's just basically moving back and forth, trying not to hit the thing that comes up in front of you.
Pole position. That's all I gotta say, man.
Essentially that. You can go first, Frank.
So we got Asses 2 versus Asses of Thunder.
I like Asses of Thunder.
I like Asses of Thunder too, but the game was super shitty. And like you said, didn't hold up at all. Doesn't hold up at all. You know how, like, you can play
Sergeant
some...
got an amazing ass. She
Yeah.
should be in one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think I'm going to go with Asses
Margaret
of...
Robbie, I think is her name.
No. You mean Nicole Kidman. Asses of Thunder. Yeah. I'm going to go with Asses of Thunder, man, just because the game sucked and it was just shitty looking. And, Asses 2, meaning Goonies 2, at least has the Goonies attached to it, not a shitty Tom Cruise movie. So I'm going to go with the Asses of Thunder. Who's next?
Dog. I'll vote for Asses of Thunder as well.
All right. Did you vote, Break?
Bequeath of Thunder.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Since I now know that Goonies actually is a sequel, I'm gonna go with Ashes of Thunder.
All right.
Love you, girl. All right. Sorry, dog was barking.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's all right. Okay. Next we have Lethal Weapon for the NES. Again, like that could have been a cool game. You could have made something good out of it.
Yeah. I was highly disappointed in that game.
They failed miserably. Next versus Highlander, which a game I never played. It was for the Commodore 64, and it's apparently legendarily bad.
You got to watch a Let's Play of this, Break. You got to watch a Let's Play of High Asser, because I'm going to go first. Lethal Assen had some potential, like you said, and didn't quite live up to it. Not as terrible as High Asser. High Asser is one of the worst games ever created. Legend.
I have no idea what Queeflander is like, so I'm going for Lethal Queefers.
Lethal Queefin.
Yeah, Lethal Queefin.
I'm gonna go with Eric on this one because I've never played the Highlander game either. But
oh my God, High Asser gets away with murder here.
I unfortunately played Lethal Queefer.
Yeah, Lethal Queefin.
Next we have, speaking of asses, Charlie's Asses. I would go see that one.
So you would see Charlie's Asses? Oh boy.
I mean, what? Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu, and who else was the other one?
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. Right? Yeah, I'd go see those asses.
Charlie's asses, like Charlie in a jumpsuit, Charlie in a Charlie looking at himself in the mirror, like that's what I was thinking. But anyways.
So that's can't believe. PS2, and also Fight Club for the PS2.
Still can't believe Highlander lost. I doth protest.
I didn't like Fight Club in the movie.
You know what we should do? We should each pick a game that didn't deserve to not move on in this case. You
mentioned this before.
And at the end, like, we take the winner versus those three. And we do a mini tournament at the end. I think we should do that. Like, the winner is still the winner, no matter what. But it would just be fun to see if things would change.
Sort of like the college tournament. Like win the bowl game, so you've already won. Right. Anyways, Charlie's Asses versus Fight Ass. I'm gonna go ahead and start this one out. I played Fight Club, and it had like, for the time, kind of a cool idea, like it zoomed in on the cracking of bones, but then it's like there's no really special moves that I remember or anything like that. It was just a fighting and
it was a bland fighting game for sure.
Yeah, but you can do just punching games and be awesome. Look at Knockout Kings.
Yeah.
Fight Club for me. Eric, you're next.
I'm voting for Queef Club.
Would Queef Club?
I think we're going to do a clean sweep here. I'm going for Ass Club as well. Charlie's Asses is, Charlie's Angels is one of the worst PS2 games for sure. But Ass Club, like you said, it was just milquetoast as far as fighting games go. Just nothing really great about it. So Ass Club, it is.
Next we have Enter the Ass for the PlayStation 1 versus Who Framed Roger Queef.
Oh man.
Enter the Asterix, you mean?
Frank, you can start this one out.
Okay. I hated Enter the Ass, aka Enter the Matrix. Not quite as bad as I hate Who Framed Roger Ass. So I'm going with Enter the Ass. And plus I like the name Enter the Ass.
Enter the Ass, Eric?
Enter the Ass.
Yeah, I gotta go with you guys. Like, I hate Who Framed Roger, but I hate Enter the Matrix even more.
Yeah, so bad. And so disappointing.
Was this the PS1 game or the PS2 game?
PS1.
Definitely.
PS1.
Like, this was before... I didn't have bullet time at the time, right?
No.
That game was the first game that had bullet time that I remember.
It did have some sort of semblance of that, but it wasn't... I mean, you could tell what they were trying to do, but let's move on. We gotta get.
This was not good. Anyway, Mad Max for the NES versus Die Hard for the NES. Well, Queef Hard, Mad Ass.
Yeah.
Frank, you can start this out.
Okay, so we got
I
Mad
Queef Max.
Mad Ass versus Ass Hard. I like Ass Hard. That sounds better. This is a battle of titans here. They both suck.
Queef Hard.
Queef Hard. I like Ass Hard. That sounds even worse, man. I don't know
Ass
why.
Harder.
Ass Harder. I'm gonna.
It's a good day to ask it.
I think Mad Max was slightly better. I'm gonna go with Ass Hard.
It's a good day to ass hard.
You're going Ass Hard too? All right. I might as well go Ass Hard too. We're all going Ass Hard.
Sweet.
A coin flip. Either one of them are bad. Next, we have Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure for the NES. Why did they make a game out of that? I'll never fucking know. Versus RoboCop for the Xbox, which we can understand why they'd make a RoboCop game, but they failed fucking miserably.
Yeah.
Frank, you can start this one.
Okay. We have Ass and Asses versus Robo Ass. I'm gonna go with Ass and Asses because at least in RoboCop you had some decent voice acting. You know, you had the whole Peter Weller thing. I think Ass and Asses was worse.
Here.
I'm voting for Queef and Queefer.
Queef and Queefer.
I'm voting for Queef and Asses, actually.
I love it, Break. All right.
Queef and Asses moves on. Next, we have Alien 3 for the NES versus Catwoman for the GameCube.
Oof.
This is the last one. Eric,
Yeah.
you can start it off.
I'm voting for Queef 3.
Frank, what do you want?
All right, so we got Ass 3
I just wanted to say Queef 3. Sorry.
versus Ass Woman.
So is it really your vote, or you just wanted to say that?
No, it is my vote.
Okay.
I
I'm
know
going.
frame of reference for Catwoman.
I'm going Ass Woman because Ass Woman was ass on the GameCube, and I was excited for the movie and the game, and both disappointed in so many ways. So I'm going with Ass Woman, which means Breakman is the tiebreaker. As Eric Coxalugi.
I think that's a better game than these two.
Eric Coxalugi. We need to make that movie immediately.
I do not like Alien 3, but I cannot believe they made a Catwoman game.
Especially after how shitty the movie was. Holy fuck.
Well, the game was probably in development for...
No, well, it might have been in development, but I think it didn't come out until probably 6 months after the movie. And they should have just scrapped it altogether. They should have said, fuck this, you know?
I am going to go ahead and... I don't like Alien 3, though, but I never played Catwoman, but I can just imagine how bad it is.
Just imagine the movie in game form, and that pretty much says it.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm gonna root for Catwoman just because I want Ass Woman to move on.
I love it. I love it. All right, so that's it for this week, man. We got to get out of here, man. I'm starving. So let's do our plugs. Breakman, plug away.
You can follow me at RPGrinders on Twitter for God knows how much longer. Right now I'm suspended. But,
You're suspended again?
yeah, I'm working on getting kicked out of there at this point.
Oh, God, Breakman.
It looks like that's the way it's going to go. And it's just, I don't really care anymore because I'm starting to feel like the longer I'm on Twitter, the more I'm supporting Elon Musk.
I know, and especially after the fucking change that I just saw, you can't even get two-factor authentication anymore on there. It's fucking ridiculous.
I'm gonna have to find another platform because I'm pretty.
Let's see. There's co-host, and then there's Mastodon.
Yeah, Mastodon, but Mastodon's kind of
like, that one
confusing.
might catch on.
Mastodon is confusing, but I don't know, man. Fuck. All right. What you got? What you got, Eric?
You can find my written reviews on bossmashbrigade.com, or you can go to the feed for the podcast, and you can see my audio reviews for games there.
Yeah,
If you
which
like
is
either of those things.
Yep.
Then you can go to my Patreon, which is at my Twitter profile, which is at RPG, and give me as little as $1 would help out.
At Eric RPG, and make sure you check out the feed, which is rpgrinders.podbean.com. Eric does great reviews. This week, which reviews do you got? You got Metroid Remastered and what else?
Metroid Prime Remastered and Pronti, a fishy adventure.
Yep, Pronti. So check those out. I'm curious on the Metroid one for sure. You can follow me on Twitter at Frank Branches. You could follow me on any of the systems, RPGrinders. I'm mostly on the PlayStation 5. I do have all the other systems, so if you add me, be patient. I will eventually get to you. I want to thank all the chatters, especially Freak 5 Chaos and Scotoma. You guys rock. O1 Ella is always in there. Olivia is in there. Oniva is in there. Alicidra, another TV viewer. Drapsnat, Lizabai or Lizabay. I like to think of it as lesbian, but that's just my mind.
Oh, you just lost a listener.
Yeah, Kata, well, I mean, we aim to please. Lonely Lisa, don't be lonely, Lisa. We're here for you. And Violet_TV. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate the, the participation, being in there. And I really thank Scotoma and Freak 5 for being in here week in and week out. Thank you guys so much. You guys rock. Anything else, gentlemen? Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought we could get away with 1 week without doing that break.
Nope.
Ass.
Yeah, queef and ass. Queef and asses. Queef and ass. Queef and asses. All right, stay safe this week, everybody. We want to see you back here next week. Until then, we are out. Later, everybody. Ooh, you haven't been to a strip club in years? Go to one. Freak 5 while you got a chance. Later, Scotoma. Stay safe, man.
I like to pay to get in there. Can't touch it. I can't touch it.
Hey, everybody in chat, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. You guys have a rockin' weekend. Later, everybody.